Hello, everybody. John Boyle, want to get us going? Hello, everybody. John Boyle, want to get us going?
Yeah, Pete, you this morning you talked about the leadership and the optimism you still have about this team. You've seen a lot of teams, different ups and down challenges. What about this particular group has you confident they'll turn things around?
Well, just like I said, the guys in the locker room, we've been through a lot, and the leadership can speak on a lot of different topics and help guys understand how things go and how seasons, the course of seasons and how many games are left. I mean, all that kind of stuff. We really have really good voices in there to help. And I'm trying to do my part, and the coaches are trying to do their part, just to be realistic and not follow the storylines that come from outside here. We got to take care of business in here.
Nico Marino.
Where's Nico?
Hey, Coach. How you doing?
There you
I was
go.
just wondering. It was really hard to hold up Minnesota defensively. I was wondering if that was, in your thoughts, more of a concept thing or an execution thing.
No, like I've said, they've been playing good football, and we weren't able to get them off the spot, rushing the passer enough. Cousins had a really good day, and by the time the game was over, they were able to run it too later in the game. So we didn't change their rhythm enough to offset them and cause any bad plays happening. We're in a little bit of a spell here where we haven't gotten the football away from our opponents enough, and it shows up. They continue to move the football, and if you don't take it off them, sometimes it's hard to get off the field, and it was nothing conceptually that they did or that we did that was the issue. They executed well. It came down to third down winning, as it so often does.
Bob Condotta, Seattle Times.
Yeah, Pete, after looking at the film, what did you think of the play of your cornerbacks, and particularly just Trey Flowers and DJ Reed?
Yeah, well, the game turned out we kept them in front of us is really what we did, and we had a lot of respect for the receivers and all, but that's kind of how the game went, and it felt like that a little bit. They threw the ball underneath us quite a bit, and we didn't do much to disrupt that. So I thought they played a pretty solid conservative game, but didn't make any plays that could change it for us. We could have used a couple here and there, and unfortunately we didn't get anything from any of the guys on that side of the ball.
Brady.
Yeah, Pete, when you're talking about the play of the cornerbacks and not making plays on the ball, are you talking about, I know you said yesterday that you felt like they could have been more aggressive late in the game. Did they have the latitude within the play call to be more aggressive, or was it more of the plays that were being called that weren't putting them in position to be aggressive?
No, we can always challenge. Our guys there is freedom in our scheme. There always has been for them to, when they're playing up and back and on the line of scrimmage and that, and they have to make choices, depending on the situation and the call and the split and all of that. And so we work with them though. We'll coach them up during the course of a game. We'll coach them up, in prep for a week. How we want to do it, but they have some freedom there, and we wound up off quite a bit in this game, and probably more than we would like to if we go back and did it again. And but they have some choices they can make.
And with your pass rush, it was really good at times in Indianapolis, and it seems like it's been hit or miss since then. What's been your assessment of the pass rush through 3 games?
We need more. We need to be more effective. We have not disrupted the quarterback. That shows you in terms of the turnovers and us being able to get after that football. It starts there. Our guys are working it. They're busting their tails to get it, and we just need to work together. I think the whole thing needs to work together tighter, and we cause some holding the football on the quarterback's point, and sometimes we disrupt, and it just needs to work together more effectively, and we're working for that.
Greg Bell.
Hello, sir. When your cornerbacks are double the yards to gain off the line on third down, say it's 3rd and 4 and your cornerbacks are 9 yards off the ball, is that a scheme thing? Is that a bad choice? Is that a player going outside the scheme? What's happening?
No, there's I don't know that that mathematics there that you're talking about. Where there's a distance off the ball depending on what the down distance is. That's
I'm just saying, when it's 3rd and 4, and there's a guy lined up 8 yards off the receiver, so all he has to do is run a 4-yard out with no. Is that scheme?
Greg. That would be a good assumption if you know what coverage they're playing, because you can play off the ball and sit in cloud cover techniques where you have a chance to jump those routes. So that distance isn't always telling you what the story is. But I think you're trying to get me to talk about the corner play and trying to get me to tell you that there's an issue or something there. We got to get better. We got to work harder at our stuff. We got to make sure that we're putting our guys in the best positions, and they got to take advantage of it. That's the way it is.
Well, what I'm trying to get at is that your cornerbacks told us yesterday after the game that they have questions about the scheme, and they aren't sure exactly at times whether they're doing it by the right scheme or whether they're not doing the right. They seem.
I don't know about what they said. I didn't hear that, and I didn't read that, so I don't know what they've said. But what I would tell you is that it was a frustrating game, and that's why we have Monday. So we get back to business. Everybody looks at the film together, and we talk through everything. Everybody gets on the same page.
Art.
Pete, this is the second straight slow start for the defense from a year ago. Well, how alike and how different are the problems this year than last on the defense?
Well, it feels a little bit the same, Art. It feels that we're giving up too much, and it feels like we're in similar situations. We've been ahead. We were ahead in games a lot last year. Early on, and we jumped out on this one too, and that's similar. And responding to those situations and holding the score down has not been a strength of ours early in the year. And so, I don't know how to explain that to you in relative, from one year to the next. But it seems similar, and I can see why you would observe that.
Is there anything planned like you did last year when you had the meeting with the defense and seemed to straighten things out with you and Kenny Norton?
Yeah, well, we're working on it. We have plans. Yes, we have plans. I can answer that effectively and clearly that we have plans.
Tim Booth.
Pete, continuing the defensive theme, your run defense in the second half of the last 2 weeks, obviously Derek kind of went crazy, and then Minnesota ran for about 100 yards yesterday in the second half. What have you seen as the issues up front?
We have to be really clean with, running game is all about the discipline of making sure that everybody's in the right spots and everybody's hitting their fits well, and we got a little bit shabby at times. They had a couple plays that got out that made the difference, and they ran it 37 times. That's what's common. They had the opportunity, as did the Titans last week, to just keep on running it, and eventually those yards get going, and they can make some plays that add them up, we had a lot of plays where we played really well, and there was a lot of plays. We had 16 plays. I think there was 2 yards or less or something like that. There's a lot of really good plays by us, but down the stretch, they've been able to work it pretty good, and we need to do a better job in finishing.
Vito.
Maybe going on the other side of the ball, what did you see from Jay Kern coming in and stepping in at tackle?
He held on. He did all right, and he was going against Daniil and their best player, and he had, there's a few plays in there, a couple sets and stuff that he can get better at. He's a good technician. He does things right for the most part. He had to catch up with Hunter coming around the edge a couple times and stressed him. But in a backup role first time, he did a pretty good job.
Gerald Everett came in and made an impact. Can you just talk about that?
Yeah, I thought he was really obvious in the game, and you could see the thing we've been talking about run after catch. He's an effective player with the ball in his hands, and so it was great to see him, an active part of it. We're just going to continue to work it. He's got a lot of good plays in him.
Curtis.
Yeah, Pete, last year when you guys had your struggles defensively, I know a number of the guys talked about how important the communication was, and it felt like everybody wasn't necessarily on the same page and had to get there as the season went along. Is there Is there a little bit of a shortfall of that going on right now as well, where there's not?
I don't feel it's the same because we've been around together more so. That was, a lot of newness and all. But it always helps. And in a situation, where that was a communication challenge situation yesterday. So there was some stuff that happens, but we're not in the same, we're in a different place right now.
Brady?
Yeah, a couple of injury questions, Pete. Benson Mayoa and Rashad Penny and Brandon Shell. Do you have any update on those guys?
Really, we don't know yet on those guys. We'll wait, until Wednesday and know more on all three of those guys. Sorry, I don't have anything for you.
Okay. It sounds like you expect Eskridge to be back this week.
Yeah, he got a real good report coming out of his the work that he got done over the weekend. We'll see. We haven't seen him out here running around, but he feels really good and is excited about getting back.
Nico Marino?
Coach, it seems like you've or the team has struggled on third down offensively. Is that something that you're going to be emphasizing, or how do you feel about third down conversions?
Yeah, I have strong feelings about third down conversions. Both sides of the ball. It's clear. I mean, it's a common theme. This is kind of how the game works, and offensively in the second half. We had 2 shots on the first 2 drives that we didn't convert, and it made a big difference. We had I think we had a sack situation that took place in there that made it a real long situation. But those are crucial because the other team was able to convert, and they held the football and did a nice job keeping it away. If I had you'd asked me before and say, hey, you give up 9 points in the second half, how do you feel about that? Well, I would have felt pretty good about it, but not the way it happened because our offense wasn't able to get on the field. The 3 long drives I mentioned, I think it was a 5, a 7, and an 8 something. Those were long possessions, and we're sitting there waiting. And I think the offense had the ball twice and got the ball back with 4:30 in the game. And so in the second half. So that's third down conversions on both sides of the ball, and so we got to work together much better than that. And it just tells the story, unfortunately.
Bob?
Yeah, you talked about Sidney Jones yesterday, but Bless Austin and John Reed, where do they sort of fit into this as well? I mean, are they close to being able to play? I know John Reed, I think, got 1 snap yesterday as well.
Yeah. There's a competition kind of brewing with those guys, trying to show and be prepared for the opportunity that pops. And those guys are all working hard and doing well in practice. And so there's Johnny jumped in at the nickel spot for a snap, and so I'll let you know when we know more about that. But it's ongoing.
And Cedric Kabui and Kobe Parkinson, I think, are eligible to come off this week.
Trey Brown is too. All 3 of those guys are eligible to come back. Yeah, all 3 of those guys are eligible to come back, and there's decisions to be made there to give them the opportunity, and we're excited about that. So we'll know more in the next couple of days. They can come back before they're ready to play too. And start working. So we'll but we're excited that those guys have a chance now. It's, the 3-week time frame seemed to work out to the benefit of those guys, so that they'll have a chance possibly to get out there.
Couple more. Greg?
Pete, what have you seen from Kendiche? And I think you're out of options. So is he an option out of doing the active roster?
Yeah, he's a guy that we have to consider how to work that as well. And he's played good hard football. It's good to see him back. I missed a year, so he's working his way back in, but he's playing real hard and playing the scheme fine. So he can help us.
Last question, John Boyle.
I was actually about to ask about Kendiche too, but instead I'll ask about Alton Robinson. You said last week he had earned more play time. He got a lot more. Just what have you seen out of him as he develops?
Yeah, he continues to play really hard. He doesn't play like a young player. He's physical and he's in the backfield causing problems. He did a nice job. So he'll be in good shape to play again. That what helped him there was that Benson wasn't available in the last game. So, but we'll see how it goes, and those guys are still battling.
Thank you, everyone.